Right now, a lot of seniors have pantries that look full, but won't carry them very far when hard times show up. A few cans, some crackers, half a bag of rice, maybe a jar of peanut butter. That might look like enough until prices jump, storms roll through, shelves get thin, or a medical bill eats up the grocery money. Now listen to me, baby. If you're over 60, or you've got a mama, daddy, auntie, or grandmama living alone, this list matters. I'm not talking about fancy emergency buckets nobody wants to eat. I'm talking about real food, cheap, shelf-stable, easy to fix when you're tired, and useful when life gets expensive. Because your pantry should feed you when your wallet can't. Today, I'm showing you 21 foods every senior should put away before hard times show up. And when we get to number 7, some of you will say, Lord, why didn't I think of that? Number 21 is instant mashed potatoes. They may not look impressive, but don't overlook them. Instant mashed potatoes are cheap, light, shelf-stable, and ready in just a few minutes. For a senior who is tired, not feeling well, or doesn't want to stand over the stove, that matters. You can make them with hot water, but they taste better with evaporated milk, butter, bouillon, or the juice from canned chicken. Add canned vegetables or a little canned meat, and now you've got something warm and filling without much work. Keep 6 to 12 pouches or 2 to 4 boxes only if you actually use them. If you won't eat it on a normal Tuesday, don't expect to love it during hard times. Number 20 is canned butter. I know some of you are looking sideways at me already. Canned butter? I hear you. But butter is one of those little foods that makes plain food feel like a meal. Grits, toast, instant potatoes, rice, cornbread, all of it changes when you add a little butter. I'm not saying replace the butter in your refrigerator. I'm saying keep 4 to 6 cans set aside so you're not depending only on the fridge or freezer. I've seen folks turn their nose up at plain food when times get hard. But put a little butter in those grits, potatoes, rice, or cornbread, and suddenly everybody remembers they're hungry. Number 19 is coffee or tea. This one is not about filling your belly. It is about keeping a little normal in the middle of a hard day. I have lived through storms, lean months, grief, worry, and mornings where the whole house felt heavy. Sometimes that first warm cup helps a person sit down, breathe, and face the day. Coffee and tea are routine, comfort, the thing that makes morning feel like morning when everything else feels unsettled. I've watched coffee prices climb enough to know you don't wait until the last can is empty. Buy extra on sale and aim for 3 to 6 months if you drink it daily. Coffee needs to be sealed up tight, away from heat and moisture. Instant coffee keeps longer, which is why I like 1 jar tucked away. Tea bags take almost no space and can sit quietly in the pantry for years if kept dry. Number 18 is tomato paste. I have used tomato paste to stretch more meals than I can count. 1 small can can turn plain beans into something that tastes like it cooked all afternoon. It can turn rice into a proper skillet meal. It can turn canned vegetables, broth, and a little pasta into soup that feels like supper. Tomato paste does not take up much space, but it works hard. Tomato products can get expensive fast when growing conditions are rough or supply gets tight. And because tomato paste is usually low cost, people don't think about it until the shelf is thin or the price has jumped. Keep 12 to 24 small cans. The small cans are better for seniors living alone because you can use one at a time without wasting the rest. Number 17 is evaporated milk, especially the pull-tab cans. Evaporated milk is one of those old pantry items that still earns its place. It does not need the refrigerator. It works in oatmeal, coffee, baking, soups, sauces, mashed potatoes, and even gravy if you know what you're doing. For seniors who live alone and can't always finish a full carton of fresh milk before it turns, evaporated milk saves money and prevents waste. And pay attention to the can itself. Pull tabs matter when your hands hurt or your grip is not what it used to be. Don't fill a senior's pantry with food they can't open. 12 cans gives you a useful cushion without taking over the shelf. Keep them where they can actually be reached. Number 16 is canned sardines or mackerel. I remember when sardines were considered poor folks' food. People turned their noses up at them. Now some of those same folks pay extra for fancy little tins with olive oil, lemon, and a pretty label. Sardines never stopped being one of the best bargains in the store. They have protein, they have healthy fats, add hot sauce or mustard if you like, and you've got something ready to eat. For a senior living alone, that matters. Some days you need food that is already done. I've watched canned fish get more expensive, and I've seen those shells look thinner than they used to. Don't wait until the price teaches you the lesson. Keep 24 to 36 cans of sardines, mackerel, or whichever canned fish you actually eat. And if you still think sardines are poor folks' food, poor folks have been right about a lot of food for a very long time. Number 15 is cooking oil. This one matters more than most folks realize. People stock rice, beans, oats, and pasta, then forget one thing. Most of those foods have very little fat, and your body needs fat. Not a river of it, not greasy food every day, but enough to keep you full, give steady energy, and make simple meals feel complete. I've watched cooking oil climb from around $6 for a big jug to $12, sometimes $14. One bottle in the kitchen is not a pantry plan. A spoonful of oil can change a pot of rice, beans, lentils, or vegetables. It adds calories, carries flavor, and keeps plain food from feeling like punishment. Keep 2 to 4 gallons if you cook with it regularly. Use the oldest first, replace what you use, and don't let those big jugs sit until they smell off. Old oil will ruin a good meal faster than burnt biscuits. Number 14 is canned potatoes. I almost left this one off the list. Then I thought about how many times I've been tired at the end of the day and needed something fast, soft, and filling. Canned potatoes are already cooked. Drain them, heat them, and they're ready. Slice them into a skillet with oil. Mash them with canned butter or evaporated milk. Drop them into soup with vegetables and bouillon. If your teeth are bothering you, canned potatoes are soft. If your stomach feels touchy, they're gentle. If your knees are tired, they don't ask much from you. A dozen cans can cover a lot of tired evenings. 2 dozen gives you room to make soups, skillet meals, and quick sides without peeling a single potato. And if you're checking on an older parent, don't just look for food. Look for food they can open, heat, chew, and enjoy. Number 13 is shelf-stable bacon or canned meat. Let me be honest, I grew up with real bacon from a real hog, so I'm not going to pretend shelf-stable bacon tastes exactly the same. But I'm also not going to pretend shelf-stable protein doesn't matter. A few years back, a storm knocked my power out for 4 days. I had a freezer full of meat I had bought on sale. Every bit of it was lost. That was the day I learned not to keep all my food in one freezer. That is where shelf-stable meat earns its place. Canned chicken, canned ham, canned roast beef, shelf-stable bacon, even canned turkey if that's what you eat. These are not fancy foods, but they are protein that does not depend on electricity. Keep 12 to 24 cans or packs built around the meats you already use. Don't buy canned ham if nobody in your house will touch it. Number 12 is canned salmon. Canned salmon earns its place because it gives you more than just protein. It has healthy fats, calcium from those soft little bones, and the power to turn a simple pantry meal into something that feels homemade. I've watched canned salmon get more expensive over the years. Some cans that used to feel like a cheap meal now make you look twice at the price. That's why I buy a few when I find a good deal. And from cafeteria cooking, I can tell you salmon patties stretch a can further than folks think. Mix salmon with a little cornmeal, an egg, and seasoning, then fry it with rice, potatoes, or canned vegetables on the side. 12 cans gives you 12 real meal starters. That is the way to think about it. Not as cans sitting there, but as meals waiting their turn. Number 11 is lentils. Lentils are one of the most underestimated foods on this whole list. Most people walk past them because they don't look exciting. But lentils do something dried beans don't do. They cook fast. No soaking overnight, no waiting half the day. In about 20 minutes, you can have something warm and filling. They have protein, they have fiber, they're soft when cooked, and for seniors, that matters because not everybody wants a hard, heavy meal. When I was raising 4 children on one income, every dollar had a job. Lentils stretched further than folks expected, and they didn't ask for much in return. 10 to 20 pounds gives you fast soup, rice dishes, and soft side meals. Add bouillon, canned vegetables, and a spoonful of oil, and lentils stop looking plain real quick. Number 10 is pasta. Pasta may look ordinary, but ordinary food is what saves you when life gets expensive. A pound costs around $2, lasts for years in a dry pantry, and cooks in about 10 minutes. That matters when you're tired, hungry, and not in the mood to make a big production out of supper. Pasta gets along with almost everything else on this list. Tomato paste, canned vegetables, cooking oil, sardines, canned chicken, bouillon, even a spoonful of canned butter if you want it to taste like somebody cared. And I've watched pasta prices nearly double in the last couple of years. That cheap box on the shelf is not as cheap as it used to be. 10 to 20 pounds gives you quick dinners, but the trick is variety. Elbows, spaghetti, rotini, shells, different shapes keep meals from feeling like the same tired plate every night. Number 9 is cornmeal. Cornmeal earns its space because it can do more than people remember. Cornbread, fried corn cakes, corn mush, coating for fish, thickening for soups and stews. You can do a lot with one simple bag. Beans had cornbread beside them. Greens had cornbread beside them. Soup could be stretched with cornbread. And if money was tight, a hot piece of cornbread made a plain plate feel finished. Keep 5 to 10 pounds in sealed containers. Don't leave it sitting in the paper bag where bugs can find it. I learned that lesson once, and those little pantry pests ate better than they had any business eating. For a lot of seniors, especially folks raised in the South, cornmeal is not just food. It tastes like home. Number 8 is honey. Honey is one of those pantry foods people forget until they need it. Properly stored honey is one of the longest lasting foods you can keep. It may crystallize, darken, or look different over time, but that does not mean it has gone bad. I keep honey for 3 reasons: sweetness, comfort, and usefulness. It can sweeten oatmeal, tea, cornbread, homemade bread, or plain yogurt. It can help stretch sugar when prices are high. And I'm not calling it medicine, but a spoonful in hot tea has comforted plenty of sore throats in my lifetime. For seniors who need to watch sugar, use it carefully. A little goes a long way. 2 to 4 jars is enough for most homes because honey is not the whole meal. It is the thing that makes hard days easier to swallow. Number 7 is bouillon cubes or powdered broth base. This is the one most people walk right past. It is small, it is cheap, it does not look impressive, and that is exactly why folks forget it. But after years of feeding school children and church folks, I learned this: plain food and good food are not the same thing. I do not care how much rice and beans you have put away. If all you have is plain rice cooked in plain water day after day, you are going to get tired of eating it. Your appetite drops, your mood drops with it. And for seniors, that is not small. Bouillon changes everything around it. Rice cooked in chicken broth tastes like a different meal. Beans simmered with beef bouillon and a spoonful of oil become something you want to sit down and eat. Canned vegetables in broth become soup, real soup, the kind that feels like somebody cooked for you. When I helped in church kitchens, bouillon helped stretch a pot without making it taste stretched. Keep 200 to 400 cubes or 2 large jars of powdered broth base. Chicken, beef, vegetable, choose the flavors you already cook with. And if salt is a concern, keep low sodium versions. Do not forget number 7. A pantry full of plain food may keep you alive, but bouillon helps make that food feel like supper. If this is helping you think about your pantry differently, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more folks find this advice before they need it. Number 6 is canned vegetables. Canned vegetables are not exciting, but they are useful. And useful food is what keeps a pantry from becoming decoration. They are already cooked, usually soft, and most only need to be opened, warmed, and seasoned. For a senior whose back is hurting, whose knees are tired, or who just got home from a doctor's appointment, that matters. Green beans, corn, carrots, peas, mixed vegetables, diced tomatoes, everyone has a job. Add them to soup, put them over rice, stir them into pasta. Warm them with butter and bouillon, and you have a side dish without much work. I still keep a garden, and I still put up vegetables when I can. But real life does not always give you the energy to cook from scratch. Instead of thinking 48 cans, think in meals. Vegetables for soups, sides, rice bowls, pasta, and quick plates. Choose what you actually like and pick cans you can open easily. Number 5 is peanut butter. Peanut butter might be the most underestimated food on this whole list. It has protein, fat, and calories that actually sustain you. Spread it on bread, crackers, cornbread, or stir a spoonful into oats and you have something that can carry you for hours. When my children were young, I bought peanut butter by the case. We went through it fast, but I always kept extra because on a bad week, peanut butter could stretch breakfast, lunch, and supper. I've watched the price climb. What used to cost around $2 a jar is pushing $4 in many stores. When you find a good sale, don't just buy one. Store brand is fine. The fancy label does not make it work any harder. 4 to 8 jars is not about hoarding peanut butter. It is about having no cooked food for hard days. Oatmeal, crackers, toast, apples, or a spoonful when you need energy but cannot face a full meal. Just rotate it. Peanut butter is dependable, but it still has oils, and oils do not last forever. Number 4 is oats. Oats earn their place because they solve one of the hardest meals for seniors, breakfast. A lot of people wake up tired, stiff, or not very hungry. You don't always want eggs. You don't always want to cook. And you sure don't need a bowl of sugary cereal that leaves you hungry an hour later. Oats are gentle, filling, cheap, and easy on a stomach that is not feeling its best. In 5 minutes, you can have something warm that stays with you. Add honey. Add peanut butter, add canned fruit, add evaporated milk, add cinnamon if you have it. One plain container of oats can become a dozen different breakfasts. I like rolled oats best because they cook fast but still have some body. Quick oats are fine if chewing is an issue. Just don't build your pantry around little flavored packets unless you already eat them. You're paying extra for sugar and a tiny paper envelope. 10 to 20 pounds is breakfast security. Oats can also stretch meatloaf, top fruit, thicken some soups, or give you something warm when the day starts rough. Number 3 is white rice. This is where the pantry starts getting serious. White rice is cheap, filling, shelf-stable, and easy to pair with almost anything. A 20-pound bag can cost around $15, and if you store it right, it can sit quietly for years, waiting its turn. Brown rice has more nutrition, yes, but brown rice has natural oils that make it spoil faster. White rice stores longer, and shelf life matters. Rice gives structure to meals. Beans over rice. Canned vegetables over rice. Tuna mixed into rice. Sardines beside rice. Rice cooked with bouillon instead of plain water. Add oil or butter, and that plain bowl has staying power. For a senior pantry, I'd rather see one good container of rice than 10 random snack foods. Keep 25 to 50 pounds if you have the space, but don't leave it in the paper bag where moisture and bugs can find it. Rice is not the whole pantry, but it gives the rest of your pantry somewhere to land. Number 2 is canned tuna. Canned tuna has saved more quick lunches than people give it credit for. It is not fancy, but it is dependable. And dependable food matters when you are building a pantry for hard days. A can of tuna can become lunch in 2 minutes. Put it over crackers. Mix it into rice. Stir it into pasta with oil and seasoning. Add it to canned vegetables. If you have mayo, mustard, relish, or hot sauce, you can make it taste different enough that it does not feel like the same meal every time. Appetite gets funny as people get older. Some days a big meal sounds like too much, but a small plate of tuna and crackers or tuna mixed into warm rice feels manageable. I've watched tuna prices climb. A can that used to cost around $1 is running $2.50 or more in plenty of stores. Good sales matter. 24 to 36 cans gives you a month's worth of quick protein if you use it carefully. Keep it where it is easy to reach. And if grip strength is an issue, make sure there is a working can opener nearby. Or buy pull tab cans when you can. Number 1 is pinto beans. If I had to build a pantry from the ground up, pinto beans would be one of the first bags on the shelf. They are not fancy, but they know how to work. A 2-pound bag can turn into a pot big enough for several meals, and it costs less than plenty of things people waste money on without thinking twice. Pinto beans give you protein, fiber, and staying power. That means they do more than fill a plate. They help keep you full long after the meal is over. When money was tight and I had children to feed, a pot of beans with cornbread, onion, and seasoning was supper. Not a sad meal, not a backup meal, supper. Some foods sit in a pantry waiting for a special recipe. Pinto beans are different. They can become soup, refried beans, beans over rice, beans with canned vegetables, or a simple bowl with bouillon and oil. For storage, I'd rather see 25 to 50 pounds sealed in buckets or airtight containers than a shelf full of snacks that disappear in 2 days. And if dried beans feel like too much work, keep canned pinto beans too. A smart pantry has food for the days you have energy and food for the days you don't. Before you close this video, look at your pantry and ask one question. If I couldn't get to the store for 2 weeks, would this food actually take care of me? That question will tell you what's missing. Don't build your pantry out of fear. Build it with sense. One useful item at a time. And if you have an older parent, neighbor, or loved one living alone, check on them too. Sometimes I'm fine doesn't match what's sitting in the cabinet. If you want to keep building without spending a fortune, watch this next. 17 foods you should stockpile on a budget. Until next time, baby, remember, a full pantry is peace of mind.